shot by a sniper in Afghanistan 11 years ago when he was on active military service. Since then, he has thrived as a referee and he has put whistle to lips. And we are up and away here. Let's go in 2021 as Bradford have first use of the ball. And it is Steve Crossley who receives the blue shirt. Welcoming committee there of Sam Brooks and Jack Hansen. Straight out there of dummy half. Bradford just moving the ball down the middle. This is where the players will be looking to acclimatise to those collisions as Flanagan finds Lilley. Lilley along the line now towards England. Former Doncaster man, a quick play the ball here. Lilley to Fleming, second debut. He's enjoying that physicality early on. And Bradford are on the fourth tackle here, just 10 metres shy of that halfway line. George Flanagan in at dummy half. Here's Danny Brough. Danny Brough looking for an early 40-20 in this game. That one's just going to bounce kindly for Richard Lepore. Richard Lepore was ever so slightly out of position. He was alert to the danger, and Lepore did exceptionally well there. And we've just seen that game management and decision making, which could be a real key for John to utilise for Bradford this year, Luke.
Straight away there, Danny Brough using experience. An early kick in the set on the fourth tackle, spots the winger slightly out of position and kicks for that corner, and was only a few inches away from a 40-20 to start the season. So not only that execution of the skill, but that speed of man. That's a big hit as well. The front row duo, Steve Crossley, Anthony Walker putting a big hit there. So it's been a solid start by both teams. Some big hits going in. This is Rugby League, Mick.
Lewis Hatton gets up a little bit gingerly and groggy. Swinton on the last tackle. The kick will come from Martin Ridyard, and that will turn Bradford around, and they will return the ball from deep inside their own 10-metre line. Joe Brown on tackle number one there. Lilley's in there once again at dummy half and probing. It goes to Pickersgill. Pickersgill's brought down in a hungry three-man challenge there. Once again, another quick play of the ball. Matty Dawson-Jones skips out of dummy half. Makes some metres there for the Bradford Bulls. Matty Dawson-Jones signing, of course, a 2-year deal last year, so he certainly impressed in the few performances that we had an opportunity to see Championship Rugby League last year. Crossley's just shy of halfway. Once again, a lot of early work there from new signing Sam Brooks, who joined from Lee. It goes to Oakes. Dawson-Jones, he's going to be brought down there by Cox and Forsyth. Last tackle, says Jack Smith. Goes back to Danny Brough. That's a high aerial hanger. Lilley's chasing it. Look to put a bit of pressure on here. That's a great take. Great take by the Kiwi Geronimo Doyle, and he was under a lot of pressure there. Great take, great kick.
Yeah, another strong set for the Bradford Bulls. You know, edging the field position battle early on, and Danny Brough utilising that left boot that came back down with snow on it. Did that one, and a quick half break here by Swinton on that left edge. Some good scrambling defence there by Reece Hamlet and Joe Brown. So positive sides from both teams early on. No early errors. Both sides warming up to the heat of the battle.
And of course Bradford and Swinton, both head coaches, Kear and Lilley, they'll be hoping that everyone comes through relatively unscathed here this afternoon. This is just a small piece of the jigsaw in their preparations for the new season. Last tackle once again for Swinton. They're going to keep the ball going on the power play. There's a chance here. Ridyard in the support, keeps the ball going to Butt. Butt kicks ahead. That one straight into the arms of Dawson-Jones. And Matty Dawson-Jones. And we're going to see a lead for the field effort. It's found Pickersgill in support. Pickersgill applies the afterburners. Mike Butt in pursuit. Bradford open the scoring. 4 minutes on the clock. It's goodbye for Pickersgill. He just applied the afterburners, but couldn't get there. And Bradford lead, and they open the scoring.
Yeah, it looked like a really promising attacking play on that last tackle from Swinton. You know, they worked the ball really well, got Bradford in all sorts of positions, and that kick through just found Matty Dawson-Jones in the breadbasket, and he were able to speed away, skip away from two Swinton defenders and palm off to Brandon Pickersgill, who support players always was outstanding. So unfortunate for Swinton. I thought they deserved a little bit more at the end of the set there for their imaginative play, but good news for Bradford. Good early start, and good try for Brandon Pickersgill.
You could see what Swinton were doing. The craftsmanship, the ingenuity was there. Mike Butt linking well with Ridyard. Butt was kicking over on this main stand side, looking for Lepore. But as we said, Matty Dawson-Jones, he was just like a magnet to the ball. Danny Brough from in front will make no mistake. He has 2 points onto the scoreboard, and with less than 5 minutes gone, Bradford leading by 6 points to 0 and beating the scoreboard. But that very nearly could have gone the other way, Luke. Really exciting start to this one.
Yeah, one thing we know about this Swinton side under Stuart Lilley is they like to throw the ball about, and they're very good to watch. And they tried that on that last play, and it didn't just come off for them, but a very good read from Matty Dawson-Jones, using his experience, and then composure from then on to speed up the pitch and find Brandon Pickersgill. So, although they conceded try on the back of it, Stuart Little, I'm sure, will want to see a lot more of that ingenuity and that exciting brand of football as this game goes on.
Well, when we spoke to Stuart Littler before the start of the game, Stuart was talking that it's a good challenge against a strong side this afternoon. Everyone looking forward to getting back out there on the rugby field as Swinton start to build and put things in place for the game against Newcastle in the Challenge Cup in 2 weeks' time. And love to get Stuart's thoughts after that early chance by Swinton. It was very much unfortunate how it ended, but certainly Bradford, great creativity there, and Bradford taking their chances. Ant Walker, quick play the ball. Flanagan now finds Fleming. Fleming attracting a lot of attention. 3 defenders out of that defensive line. Will Bradford go on this main stand side? It's Flanagan with a scoot. Flanagan carries Bradford up to halfway. Referee says the tackle from Hansen was on the shoulder. Bradford back in centre field now with Lilley. Crossley trundles the ball in. Thought about the offload, and he will happily take the tackle just inside the Lions' territory on that 5th and last tackle. Flanagan to Brough. Brough, a high hanging kick. That one's going to be a challenge there for Mike Butt does well there, the Welsh international, and he's immediately wrapped up there by Jordan Lilley. 15 out from his own try line, so Bradford couldn't go back to back, but it was a solid set on the restart. And now Bradford just keeping Swinton penned inside their own 20-metre line. And Reece Hamlet, who signed in the close season from Warrington, the former Rochdale Mayfield player, he's got the nod in that centre position with Joe Brown on that right edge this afternoon. As John said, he's really impressed in training. And like I say, everybody wants to be in contention for those Challenge Cup games against Newcastle and, of course, against Featherstone. As Swinton now, once again, good off-the-cuff play there. It's over on that far stand side with Doyle. Doyle throws it back in centre field. And Joe Brown puts a huge hit there on Ridyard, and that'll be a penalty to the Bradford Bulls because a Swinton player just mistimed the tackle there. It was Liam Forsyth, for close season signing from Lee. He just went in with a shoulder there. First penalty of the afternoon. Bradford will find touch on this main stand side. Yeah,
again, Swinton trying to throw the ball about, and Joe Brown spotting a chance to hunt down Martin Ridyard. Went in behind him, put a big hit from behind, forced the error, and now Bradford in some really good field position, 30 metres from the Swinton line with a fresh set of 6.
Brad Gallagher carries it in. Bradford, you can see how close they are from that Swinton try line. Good field position. Goes to Walker. Walker surging
made a really good start here, Mick. It's fantastic to see him back after what he's been through, and he's certainly making up for lost time as Jordan Lilley finds Brad Gallagher with a nice short pass just inches away from the Swinton line.
Yeah, Gallagher wrapped up there, a couple of metres out. Ross Oakes goes himself from dummy half. Ross Oakes, can he reach out? No, he can't. Good defence there from Liam Forsyth, wrapped him up. It's a very messy, scrappy, sloppy play the ball. The referee is going to say that try won't count, and it's going to be a play the ball for Swinton. It happened on the last tackle. Well, we kind of expected, Luke, that with the players coming back after what is very nearly a calendar year, I think it's 358 days to be precise, that it might be a little bit sloppy, a little bit helter-skelter early on.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't had masses of training sessions either to work on the skill and work on the physical aspect of it, so they're gonna get to grips with that as the game goes on, and that's what these games are for. It's a pre-season fixture like no other with the gap they've had. So there'll be some errors, there'll be some penalties that'll need sorting out, but that's what the analysis sessions are for afterwards, and this is just about getting the hits in, getting the bodies accustomed to the physical aspect of rugby league again.
Waterworth finds Rodri Lloyd, a lot of experience in this Swinton side. Ridyard looks for a 40-20 on this occasion. Pickersgill out of position. That bounce of the ball will be kind, and there you go. Martin Ridyard, 34 years of age, brings a lot of experience to this Swinton side, and on his day he is one of the best playmakers outside of Super League. And it will be a tap 15 metres out now, and we're going to see for the first time this afternoon what Bradford's defence is made of, as Lewis Brogan handing the ball there to Waterworth. It'll go back to Ridyard. Ridyard now to Lewis Hatton. Hatton's going to be brought down. Steve Crossley involved in that tackle, so to Ant Walker and Dan Fleming. Bradford backed up on their own try line here. Swinton looking for that equalising score. They shifted out wide. Good fast hands. Did that touch Joe Brown? Referee says no, play on.
Brilliant pick up, Reece Hamlet there. Yeah. Fantastic from the young man.
Great awareness there from Reece Hamlet. And you mentioned it, Luke. Swinton quite happy to do that off-the-cuff sort of expansive style. And we have had the sun shining down here all afternoon as Lilley looks to find a gap. 5 shy of halfway here. Bradford. Potentially a penalty there. Referee says 6 again, so it is a penalty. As we said, we didn't quite see the full benefit of these new rules in the Championship last year, but here they are in 2021, so Bradford 6 again, the first 6 again of the game, and here goes Dan Fleming carrying Bradford towards the posts. As we said, he signed...
He's a big man to take down, and it's taken 4 Swinton players to chop him down there.
Signed in the close season from local rivals and near neighbours Halifax. Here goes Crossley. Crossley offloads the ball there. It's a little bit risky, and Swinton have recovered possession there, and the ball did go to ground, but Swinton are going to play to the whistle. There wasn't one, and Swinton now have a chance now to turn defence into attack, and it's Richard Lepori, the former Oldham and Rochdale man, who'll be brought down just shy of halfway there as Swinton look to get a bit of momentum on, and we're just seeing perhaps a little bit of tiredness. So we've seen a flop there from new signing Brad England, so it's 1-6 again apiece here, so the tackle count restarts with Swinton just inside the Bradford half. And Luke, you know, we know why the coaches now have been absolutely flogging the players, so to speak.
Again, pouncing on that loose ball. He's really eager to make an impression. Sorry, Mick.
I was just going to say, we understand why the coaches have been monitoring and having a real keen eye on the fitness levels with the new rules and the 6 again. No longer do you get a scrum where you can potentially take 30, 40 seconds out of the game.
Yeah, it's tiring just watching, isn't it, Mick? You know, it's a really good intensity and pace to the start of this game. Both sides, you know, wanting to throw the ball about, coming up with a couple of errors, but, you know, that's what these games are for, to just get that out of your system. So, nothing too concerning from a Bradford perspective at the minute. Just Swinton coming up with a few errors in some good field position.
Danny Brough promotes the ball along the line to Lilley. Pickersgill loses the ball forward. Referee will say it's touched a Swinton arm. That was perhaps a half chance for Geronimo Doyle on debut. And as we can just see there, it was Pickersgill's pass.
I
just
think
a little
Gregson
bit of a
just
knock
got
on
a palm on that one, but another good move by Bradford. They looked to have created a bit of an overload on that right edge, and you know, it was Swinton's Nick Gregson. That looks like what could have been another Bradford try with his intervention.
Well, Jack Smith is just going to say it will be a play the ball in that centre field position. So Bradford just setting up their attack here. Saying it come off the Swinton man. Here goes Ant Walker. He's had the all clear from the head specialist, and he'll be looking to really impress in his 1 month trial at the club. Brough, Lilley, floats it out to Brown. Brown does well under pressure there from that centre wing partnership of Forsyth and Doyle. Lilley now. Fleming. Real good intensity to this one. Almost feels like we're back calling a championship game after a couple of rounds. Lilley now finds Pickersgill. Good tackle there. Swinton holding on. It was Mitch Cox, the former Lee Minor Rangers man, who come in. Ball and all tackle on Pickersgill. Crossley will be brought down on the last tackle. Danny Brough's calling for the ball in centre field. It goes to Flanagan. Flanagan tries and pinches one, and George Flanagan will be held up there. Great defence there from the Swinton fullback Mike Butt, and we've seen it time and time again. George Flanagan, he likes to show and go. He likes to emulate what Kieran Cunningham and James Lowes did 2 decades ago, and that's good alertness there from that Swinton Lions defence to stop George getting the ball down.
Yeah, it's a new season, but there's nothing new about George's tricks, is there? But they work more often than not, so fair play to him. And he got over the line. It was some good scrambling defence from Swinton just to hold him up and keep the scoreline 6-0. But another good set from Bradford in Swinton territory.
Well, John Kear said everyone will be given a chance to shine before he starts narrowing down the numbers, which we'll have to do for the Keighley game next week. And by the end of that game, John feels he will know his starting 17 for that game against Featherstone on Sunday the 21st of March. Bradford about to make their first interchange of the afternoon. Eben Sker about to come on as a big strong run there from Lewis Hatton. Carries Swinton inside Bradford territory. Last tackle here. Waterworth gives it to Ridyard. Ridyard floats it out over the top. A chance here for Doyle, but it's a forward pass.
Yeah, I saw that one from here, Mick. Another good move from Swinton, though, running that last power play on that left edge is clearly a tactic they've been working on. So fair play to Swinton for keeping that ball moving as Anthony Walker comes off, making way for Eben Skur. So a good stint from Anthony Walker in his first minutes back after 3 years out.
15 minutes gone on the clock. Just the Brandon Pickersgill try inside the opening 4 minutes. And I think we're going to see this afternoon, Luke. It might be a bit of a little bit fluid with players coming on and off.
Yeah, and, every player in the squad needs to get minutes before the start of the season, and unfortunately that pre-season schedule is a lot more condensed than normal, where you might have 3 or 4 matches, you've only got 2, and after so long out, it's important they all get to grips with the physical side of it as well as the technical side of it as well, and getting on the same wavelength with some of the new players integrating. So you'll see a lot of changes. It'll be a bit fractious at times, but the main benefit of the game, the main takeaway is those minutes in the lungs of the players.
Here goes Reece Hamlet. Good challenge there from Gregson. Brogan also involved in that tackle. Eben Skur, big heavy head-on collision there. Lewis Hatton and Nick Gregson involved in that one, but Eben Skur, well,
great play by George Flanagan there. That's where George Flanagan's fantastic, spotting that opportunity at the ruck. The men weren't square, the players were still retreating. He gains an easy 10-15 metres, and there goes Eben Skur again, certainly coming on and making an impact.
Eben Skur is already made 30 metres in this set of 6. Danny Brough, clever chip over the top. Palm back from Dawson Jones to Oakes. Oakes, can he ground the ball right in that corner? The referee will say Ross Oakes has gone dead in goal. And once again, you have to applaud the scrambling defensive qualities of the Swinton Lions. Very nearly a second try.
Yeah, good play all round. A good kick outside of the boot from Danny Brough. Matty Dawson-Jones palms that one down to his mate on his inside. And Ross Oakes got over the line just like George Flanagan did. But again, some heroic defending from Swinton to keep the scoreline at 6-0. But, good rugby all round.
Doyle's brought down there by Flanagan and Crossley. Waterworth. Big collision there once again. Swinton, you feel, just starting to up the tempo. Paddy Jones on the field. He's brought down 10 metres inside that Bradford half. Brad England and Eben Skur just halting that progress there. Swinton in good field position here as it goes from Waterworth to Hansen. Hansen to Lloyd. Lloyd is brought down. Last tackle, says the referee. What will Swinton do here? Goes to Ridyard on that left-hand edge. Peppers it through. Lilley has an air swing.
Great pick up by Brandon Pickersgill there.
Pickersgill has just been dragged back in goal, and the referee is going to say the tackle wasn't completed. The momentum was still taking place. And Swinton, good stuff there from... we're going to see a replay now, actually, of the Ross Oakes close call. Pinpoint accuracy there from Danny Brough. We're talking inches.
Yeah, you just see Ross Oakes' legs there, just taking it a touch. It was Liam Forsyth, I believe, on that right centre with Richard Lepori, who just dragged him into touch. So some great play from Swinton Lions, and then they've made some good yardage on the back of it, and they've got another set of 6, within Bradford's 20 metres.
More pressure on this Bradford Bulls try line. Swinton looking for their first points of the afternoon on the Our League app. Don't forget, there's Bradford against Keighley next Saturday at the earlier time of 2 o'clock for the Joe Phillips Memorial Trophy as Lewis Hatton head down towards the Bradford line. Good scrambling defence there. He had to put his body on the line, did George Flanagan, but once again Swinton very lively, like an excited young little puppy. They don't know what the room layout is, and the ball goes wide once again. And Reece Hamlet really impressed with his alertness in defence, and he's there again, is Reece Hamlet, aided by Jordan Lilley. And Swinton once again on that last tackle. Waterworth gives it to Ridyard. Ridyard looks for Hansen. Hansen along the line to Butt. Here goes Lepori, a chance for Lepori, palms the ball back on the inside. Great tackle from Gallagher. Gallagher disrupted that move there as Rodri Lloyd couldn't keep the ball, and he lost the ball forward, and that'll be a 0 tackle.
6 again here, Mick. Yeah, great read again from Bradford, and you see just a few moments there in that they read the Swinton play really well, got a man rushing to a player who's about to receive the ball, put him under pressure, forced an error again. Swinton have come up with a few errors so far, but a lot of them have been from Bradford's pressure on the ball and the player.
Matty Dawson-Jones will play the ball. Here goes Eben Skur once again. He's lost the ball in that tackle there. And it's a penalty. The referee looked towards the touch judge and he says there was 2 in the tackle, and he points the finger there at Paddy Jones and Rodri Lloyd, who was in that tackle. George Flanagan leaves the field and Thomas Doyle comes on. Another one of these homegrown players in this Bradford side. Blessed with homegrown talent. 13 on show this afternoon. So a chance now for Bradford. 2 balls on the field. Jack Smith just making sure the ball's gone. We've had the first quarter of the game, 20 minutes gone. Just the Brandon Pickersgill try after great legwork in centre field by Matty Dawson-Jones. Sucked in Mike Butt and sent Pickersgill away. Doyle. Brough. Eben Skur once again. Legs like pool table legs, I tell you. He's brought down 20 metres out now. Doyle to Brough. Brough to Fleming.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Bradford's pack at the start of this game, making some good meters post contact as well down the middle of the pitch as Pickersgill finds Oakes, who finds Dawson-Jones, and the ball just goes to ground. A really good play by Bradford, who created that 3-on-2 overlap. It
was, like you say, you could see the creativity there, the vision, and we could see the replay. Bradford did have the numbers stacked. Unfortunately, it was that flick on pass there from Ross Oakes. Matty Dawson-Jones just couldn't take it in, and John Kear, he'll probably be in a bit of a forgiving move because we're in pre-season, but if that's happening in a league game, we know what John Kear can be like. But
it's not always going to come off. When it comes off, it looks fantastic. If it doesn't come off, you've just given the ball away, and it was quite early in the set. But you've got to praise their ingenuity at times, especially so early on, and the fact they clearly feel they're on the same wavelength to be able to play plays like that. And it's just the skill that needs tidying up, but that'll come in time. I think both sides have had moments where they've really moved the ball about well, put on a show. Oof, it's a big dump there. Eben Skur and Thomas Doyle. They certainly don't show signs of any rustiness in the physical aspect of this game, do they, Mick?
Brogan's brought down on that last tackle. Waterworth to Ridyard. Ridyard to Hansen. Was that a late challenge from Jordan Lilley? The referee will say it is, but he's going to play the advantage here. Lloyd plays the ball off Pickersgill, and Jordan Lilley could be in trouble here. And there's no love lost between these two sides. There was a fiery encounter the last time they met at Odsill. There was 2 red cards, and there was 4 players sent to the sin bin. I don't think we're going to see anything like that this afternoon, but it was Jordan Lilley's late challenge that the referee has stopped the clock, and Jordan Lilley could be just in a little bit of bother here. I think it'll just be a stern warning.
Yeah, you do see the late shots to the kicker. He'll have received a few of them himself over the years, but I think it was just a bit high to the head as Hansen put the kick through, which was the dangerous part of it. You get the charge down, but I think it was just a bit late, a bit high for referee, and he's actually sent Jordan Lilley to the sin bin for 10 minutes. Jack
Smith. Well, we mentioned that he was a former Royal Marine. He does bring a real military approach to his refereeing, and he has decided that warrants 10 minutes in the sin bin. So Jordan Lilley in pre-season, he will head to the sin bin for 10 minutes. Steve Crossley, the captain of Bradford, just having a word with Jack Smith about his interpretation. I don't really have any real problems with that. It was late, and as you say, the referees are always going to protect the players, and Swinton now have a chance from that kick from Martin Ridyard. They'll fancy the chances perhaps of crossing that Bradford line. Bradford's defence, a man down here as it goes from Hansen. Hansen now to Hatton. Hatton's going to be brought down 12 metres out, right in front of the Bradford post. Waterworth goes left again, finds Ridyard. Ridyard looking for those runners as Crossley has to come across, and that's good alert defence here from the Bradford Bulls. Will be a quick play the ball there as Swinton try and reach out and score.
Great scrambling defence there. Brad England, Steve Crossley try saving intervention from the duo there, and that's what this side will need to do in the next 9 minutes. While they're a man light, put that effort in defensively. We know what John Kear's sides are like on that goal line D anyway, so really good pressure, really good tackle, force of the area yet again, and a bit of a breather here, although it's no scrum, so there's not much of a breather. We just get back to it, and here's Thomas Doyle bringing the ball out.
Well, we've seen it certainly at Super League with the shot clock. There's sort of like that 15-20 second pause. I spoke to James Ford, the head coach of York, a couple of weeks ago, and he feels that should be removed. It's too much of an advantage, but players will certainly look for loopholes that will benefit them. And here we go, was Joe Brown. Still going, Joe Brown plots his course inside the Lions half of the field here, and Bradford have a bit of momentum and ascendancy all of a sudden, despite Jordan Lilley being sent to the sin bin, as once again Eben skirts through. Eben skirts charging forward. Last tackle here for Bradford. The goal left once again. Danny Brough out wide to Pickersgill. Pickersgill to Oakes,
play by Bradford.
and that will be another try to the Bradford Bulls. They will double their lead, 10-0 now, and just look at that for rugby league poetry. Swinton just ran out of men.
All about that Eben Skir run. Swinton at 6s and 7s in defence, scrambling to get back in position, and smart play from Bruffy, and then Pickersgill. Clearly something off the training ground. Fed Ross Oakes out wide. Very nicely worked try on the back of an 80-metre set with 12 men, so really encouraging for Bradford.
And when you look at Eben Skir, such a young age, 6 appearances last season, I don't think he missed a game, Eben Skir. He really is going to be knocking on the door. He's being given squad number 18, and John Kear, he doesn't need reminding. Eben Skir is hungry. He wants a lower numbered shirt.
Yeah, he's gone for the buzz cut for the new season as Eben, but there's nothing unrecognisable about the way he plays, and he's an absolute battering ram. He's slightly smaller than your traditional props, but it makes him harder to stop, and he laid the platform for a great try there, and that's what he brings to the side off the bench. With some slightly tired bodies, he's straight in there.
Well, Danny Brough, it was underneath the post for the try to Brandon Pickersgill. This one's a bit of a difficult assignment. The sun shining down here in this part of West Yorkshire. It really has been a fantastic afternoon here as Danny Brough with the left boot. That one will just sail over the post, and is Danny Brough the missing ingredient in Bradford Bulls' promotion challenge? Well, he's certainly looking the part from what we've seen in the opening 25 minutes or so. Bradford do double the lead, 12-0, and it's 2 tries to 2 homegrown players that have come through the Bradford Bulls Academy, Brandon Pickersgill and Ross Oakes.
Yeah, 2 players we've really seen mature over the years, Mick, and they just seem to get better and better as they mature physically as well as mentally, and a good read from Pickersgill early on using his brain, and then Ross Oakes on the end of a really good inventive move involving Danny Brough and Pickersgill again there. So try and an assist for Pickersgill. Not a bad start to the year for Bradford as the ball bounces and Matty Dawson-Jones collects a loose ball 10 metres out. So really promising, down to 12 men. Great tackle by Brad England Seacross, he forced the error. Good yardage set up the field, last tackle play. Perfect response to going down to 12 men.
I think that will please John Kear, the way how they defended their line, forced that Swinton error, and as you said, Luke, that has turned that defence into attack. That pendulum just swung away from the Lancashire side, and Bradford have that second try. Fleming looks for an offload there, just decides to keep hold of the ball. Doyle's in there at dummy half. Doyle to Brough. Brough looking for a 40-20. Lapori and Butt will stop that one, and the bounce of the ball is kind. Mike Butt does well there. He had to sort of somersault forward to take that one, but he immedately beats Brad Gallagher. Brad Gallagher and Danny Brough there. They're saying welcome back to rugby league. And Mike Butt, the Welsh international, one of 4 players who represent Wales this afternoon out on the field, and as we said, a bit of an interesting one. John Kear, the head coach of Wales, Stuart Littler, the head coach of Ireland. They'll both be taking part in the Rugby League World Cup later on this year, as Bradford have conceded their 3rd penalty of the afternoon, and that will see Swinton have a full set inside the Bradford half.
Yeah, just a slight flailing arm, I think, from Dan Fleming, just caught him just above the shoulder, so a fair decision from referee Jack Smith, and an opportunity for Swinton to put some pressure on the Bradford line, as they've still got the numerical advantage with, I think, about 5 minutes left of Jordan Lilley's time in the sin bin. Tyler
Brown has just come on for Stuart Littler's side. Here goes Sam Brooks. Made one appearance for Bradford back in 2017, you might remember, under the then head coach Jeff Tuvey. Bradford just defending well here. They had to make contact, and that was good play there from Ross Oakes, but there's danger here with Billy Bricknell now in that dummy half role, and he will find it there to Paddy Jones, and Jones is brought down just to the left of the posts. Back to come the other way here. Ridyard, can he open up the Bulls defence? Matty Dawson
pressure again from that Bradford defence.
Great defensive read there on Liam Forsyth. Just 12 metres out now on that last tackle. Hansen, well, that one's heading towards the touchline. Joe Brown will put a bit of a chase on, and the kick finally goes down. Danny Brough has palmed it backwards, and they're just looking a little bit lost here, Swinton, on their last tackle options. Two players with a lot of experience in game management, but that was almost like off-the-cuff Harlem Globetrotters-esque.
Yeah, we've seen them throw the ball about a bit early on and come up with some errors, so maybe they're going to go down the traditional kick on the last route, and the execution just wasn't there from Jack Hansen, and Bradford were able to pounce on that. But again, you got to credit Bradford and the pressure they're putting on. They're forcing Swinton to make uncharacteristic errors, and as an advantage of that, they're getting the ball back in some decent field position, and Joe Brown was the one who put the pressure on over that far side.
Dawson Jones, good metres there out of dummy half, just been held in the tackle by Rodri Lloyd. Doyle to Brough along the line to Sker. Sker carries Bradford on that last tackle, just shy of halfway here. Swinton have the sun in their faces in this first half. Brough off the left boot. That's a difficult one for Mike Butt. Butt does well. In fact, it's not Mike Butt, apologies. It's Geronimo Doyle, who of course has represented New Zealand Maori, the residents team over there, and he's on debut, and with the black head guard there, looking good under the high ball and under the pressure from Danny Brough, and Richard Lepore making good metres there. Swinton now just looking to try and capitalise, while Jordan Lilley is still in that sin bin. This will please John Kear immensely, that they've managed to hold and restrict Swinton after 30 minutes gone to no points on the scoreboard. What will happen here now as Billy Brickell decides to go left, and we're going to see a quartet of substitutions here. Elliot Wallace about to come on for his Bradford Bulls debut, the young winger on a season-long loan from Hulkinston Rovers. Swinton on the last tackle, Ridyard on the power play. Swinton have the numbers, Rodri Lloyd's away, he's got Hansen in support, and Hansen will score Swinton's first points. Bradford just run out of numbers there with Jordan Lilley in the sin bin. It's 12 points to 4.
Yeah, we just spoke about Swinton changing that kick on the last philosophy, and they've just changed it back up again. A really, really good play, brought some numbers over to this near side, outnumbered Bradford, created that overload, and the ball back on the inside. For a nicely worked try, and their inventions deserve something like that, and they've taken advantage of the numerical advantage.
Well, you could just see there on the replay, Pickersgill had to go to Rodri Lloyd, and as we say, Rodri Lloyd, he had both Geronimo Doyle and the Swinton player on that left channel, and as we said, a great try there, really great try, and just giving Bradford the praise there, Luke. A couple of more minutes left on the sin bin.
Yeah, it's commentator's curse, Mick. We'll blame you for that one, but Swinton have thrown the ball about a bit, and it was only a matter of time before something like that happened, and they executed that play well where they haven't on others before, so they've got to try that their invention deserves, and we're going to see the 4 changes now as Steve Crossley, Ross Oakes, Dan Fleming, and I think Brandon Pickersgill making way as well for Defogging Johnston, Levy and Zongu, Ant Walker and Elliot Wallace.
Martin Ridyard converts, and it is a 6-point game here with 8 minutes to go to half-time. Jordan Lilley has around 90 seconds remaining, as Luke's just said, a quartet of substitutions, and we see that try again. It was on the power play. Pickersgill had to go to Rodri Lloyd, and there was nothing that Brandon Pickersgill could do. You're always told to go to the man with the ball. Well, Stuart Littler, he got his recruitment done early, with Lee's elevation to Super League allowing Martin Ridyard, Sam Brooks and Liam Forsyth to arrive. Big coup for Swinton getting those 3 players over the line, and as we said, Swinton have had a bit of a revival in recent years when you think back to the championship in 2019, which of course wasn't disrupted. Stuart Littler's Swinton secured their best league finish in 20 years. They finished 9th in the table, and you might remember a couple of weeks after Bradford had gone to Toulouse and beaten Toulouse. Swinton went and they did the same by 20 points to 18. One of the surprise shock results of that championship season, but great to see a strong Swinton emerging. And as we said, Stuart Littler, he has a lot of talent on hand, and here goes Hansen now finding Ridyard once again. They're going to try and go on that left hand side, but Levy Enzongo, he just put in the big feint there, and the ball squirmed out, and the former Hull FC and Melbourne Storm man, from the man from the Congo, really putting a huge hit there, and Bradford now will look to potentially pose an attacking option with Doyle as Doyle goes. Good support there to Gallagher, to Dawson Jones, to Wallace on this left edge. Wallace tries to just skip past Liam Forsyth there, and the young loanee from Hulkington Rovers is brought down 10 metres out. Gallagher now right in front of the post, thought about the show and go, decided to keep hold of the ball. Bradford have options to the right as Doyle fires it towards Brough to Walker. Walker, he is brought down there, just a couple of metres out. Bradford, a tackle remaining as Doyle to Levy Enzongo. That was a short ball, went forward. Levy Enzongo didn't really know much about that one, and that will be Bradford's 5th error in this first half.
Yeah, just a few errors creeping now. Maybe a bit of tiredness sets in, a few more errors occurring, but Jordan Lilley's just coming back on, so back to a full complement of 13, and we've seen a few positional changes in Bradford's side as well. You've got Joe Brown in at full back, Matty Dawson-Jones moving into the centre position as well, so they've got to get to grips with that and get used to who's on their outside, who's on the inside, and get on the same wavelength. So it's bound to happen, but all in all, I think we've seen a really positive, opening 34-35 minutes here.
Real good feel to this one, as we said. Pickersgill and Oakes for Bradford, Hansen in reply for Swinton, and Jordan Lilley just returning to the field in the bottom left hand corner of your screens as Swinton just look to get a bit of momentum going forward, but once again Ant Walker really tackling himself to water out there. There's a clever chip over the top there. We'll try and turn around Joe Brown, but Brown will field the ball on this main stand touchline. And how good's that kick chase there from Swinton? I think Stuart Littler will be happy there. That Brown is disrestricted to his own 20 metre line. Once again, Forsyth and Lloyd doing well as Wallace carries the ball out there of dummy half and tries to win a penalty there as Lilley back out there on the field. Fogging Johnston now, former Hunslet man, brought down 12 shy of halfway. Appeals for a 6 again. Jack Smith waves away those appeals, and here goes Levy Enzongo now. Bradford on tackle number 4. Ant Walker drives the ball forward 10 metres.
Big play, and he's always looking for the offload.
He was looking for the offload and that inside support. It wasn't there. Last tackle though, Jordan Lilley goes to the air, and once again, great check there from Mike Butt. Certainly he has been under a lot of pressure in this opening half. 5 minutes away, Luke, from half-time. How do you feel John and Stuart are going to be casting their thoughts and opinions over what we've seen so far?
I think we've seen, as another penalty is awarded for Swinton here for messing about in the ruck. I think, both coaches will recognise there's been some errors with ball in hand and also in defence as well, conceding a few penalties. So they'll want to tighten that up in the second half. But ultimately, we haven't seen any injuries yet. Both sides seem to be coping okay with that return to physicality, so a few errors and a few penalties that need tidying up. But other than that, I think they'll be fairly pleased to have got through the first 40 minutes, relatively untroubled.
There was an interesting talk with the Featherstone head coach, James Webster. Obviously, people have been talking about players having the adequate preparation, getting used to the collisions. James Webster was saying, once you go into pre-season, which of course, the off-season, which is around about 4 months, 4 or 5 weeks after the season's gone, players lose that anyway, so he didn't really think it'd be a problem, and some of the comments that various coaches and people have made, perhaps this being a little bit on the cautious side. But Swinton, they're looking for their second try of the afternoon here at the Tetley Stadium in Dewsbury. 12 points to 6 they trail the Bradford Bulls as Ridyard decides to take the tackle there. 20 metres out, last tackle here. Once again it goes to Hansen. Hansen, crossfield kick, looking to put young Elliot Wallace under pressure, and Elliot Wallace has done exceptionally well there, Luke, because Rodri Lloyd and Richard Lapore were both bearing down on him, and that will do the youngster the world of good.
Yeah, he's looked promising in his first few minutes, some good carries with ball in hand, and he's looked pretty solid in defence as well, and you know what you're going to get from him. You've seen him in that short spell at York. He scored on this ground last year in that pre-season clash, and he's a big young man, and he certainly looks like a big sort of strapping winger who won't get moved about too easily, so it looks like he'll enjoy the physical aspect of it, and he'll look to get on the ball a bit more and try and impress John and force his way into that starting lineup.
Well, Danny Brough is going to do certainly the first half here. 40 minutes out there on his Bradford Bulls debut. Bradford on the last tackle here now. Here's Danny Brough. Goes straight down the throat there of Geronimo Doyle. Doyle takes it. How good's the Bradford defence as Adam Rooks comes in with Reece Hamlet? Well, while Stuart Littler and Swinton, they did their recruitment relatively early. Bradford Bulls head coach John Kear said at the recent media day that those shirt numbers 23, 24, 25 they will be used by players joining ahead of the new league season, with at least one of those players being a middle from a Super League club. So there's some excitement for Bradford Bulls fans in the coming weeks.
No comment. No, John will always have his eye on who's available, and if the players fit within the style he wants and they're the right personality and they're affordable, then I'm sure he'll always look to bring them in to strengthen the squad. So if John says there'll be another big strong run from Anthony Walker, if John says there'll be 2 or 3 faces coming before the league season, then I'm as excited as you are to find out who they are.
Jordan Lilley, good scampering run there. Bradford just upping the tempo once again, like they did before that second try to Ross Oakes, although they are on the last tackle. Good defence by Swinton, they're keeping their defensive resolve. Danny Brough on the power play now to Dawson Jones. Dawson Jones skips inside 1-2, looks for the offload, finds the support from Gallagher. Gallagher to Brough. This is hot potato stuff from the Bulls. Danny Brough still keeps the ball going. It goes to Brown. Brown to Lilley. Lilley flicks it onto Hamlet, and Hamlet just couldn't take it in. D. Fogging Johnston, he was alert and ready for the pass, and I think Bradford, Luke, that could have been one of the pre-season tries you will ever see if Hamlet can just throw in the Swinton winger and send Fogging Johnston over in the corner. But great play there from Bradford, and hopefully those watching it on the Our League stream were certainly getting a little bit excited as we count down towards half time here at the Tetley Stadium. Bradford defending well, 12 points to 6 their lead, and right on cue there's the half time hooter. Early try to Brandon Pickersgill. We then saw a real sort of arm wrestle, as you normally expect between two battle-hardened championship sides, before Bradford defended their line. Well, welcome back to the Tetley Stadium, Dewsbury. It is, of course, the Our League coverage. Bradford leading Swinton by 12 points to 6 at half-time, and as we can see, John Kear hasn't made too many changes at the start of this second half, and certainly a bit of everything in that first half, really. Certainly Bradford and Swinton perhaps just a little bit guilty of overshooting the ball, but certainly Bradford and Swinton, certainly in terms of their defence, they've maintained that defensive shape, and as we've seen, a lot of ingenuity from Danny Brough, and of course new signing for Swinton Lions, Martin Ridyard. So Swinton with first use of the ball. Ridyard looks to put Joe Brown under a little bit of pressure. Will that one just go dead and give Bradford a 7 tackle set? Yes, it will. And we've not seen too many changes from John Kear at the start of the second half, and neither has Stuart Littler, so we might see a few changes as the game goes on here. So certainly John Kear and Stuart Littler keeping their word that they would let everybody at least have a minimum of 15 minutes out there on the field, as Elliot Wallace puts the fend in, carries Bradford up to halfway. Here goes Fogging Johnston. Where's my 10 metres, 15 metres there. Good athleticism from Fogging Johnston. Doyle in at dummy half. Goes on that left-hand edge. Billy Jowett. His first carry. after being a change in the first half as Lilley lays it off to Walker. 2 defenders there, bringing down Walker as Doyle now keeps it going. Bradford trying to expose Swinton on that left-hand edge. Referee Jack Smith says last tackle here. They're going in out wide.
Brilliant
and that's a
pass.
lovely bullet pass there. And Manny Dawson-Jones will cross for Bradford's third try. It's come right at the start of this second half. And Manny Dawson-Jones, who was Bradford's top try scorer in that mini-season last year with 4 tries, he has opened his account in 2021. And that was real good, crisp, fast hands. And John Kear will be doing added an early try. Luke Mawson.
Yeah, great start to the second half for Bradford there. 7 tackle set gifted to them by Ridyard's kick, just going too long. Really good metres made, Foggin Johnson especially, and then that final play from Thomas Doyle. Great execution on the bullet pass. Cut out 2 Swinton men and Matty Dawson-Jones charging onto that one to go for Bradford's third try. Great start to the half for Bradford.
Matty Dawson-Jones crossing out wide. And we're going to see Billy Jowett.
Yeah, Billy Jowett taking over the kicking duties from Danny Brough. He's a promising young player who's been learning from Danny Brough, and there's not many better to learn from when it comes to the kicking off the tee. So looking forward to seeing how Billy goes on this half. He's someone who John's mentioned in pre-season as really impressing him, and he's a fullback who can play in the halves. I think he's slotting in the halves today. We'll see how he gets on. He's certainly a player with massive potential.
Well, he has the sun to contend with. And that one
straight from the Danny Brough playbook.
Sails between the posts over that black dot there. And Bradford further extend their lead by another 2 points. Bradford 18, Swinton 6. Quick play the ball. Doyle, lovely ball. Matty Dawson-Jones in. Nothing that Swinton could do about that one. And just the start that John Kear would have asked for after that half-time team talk as Martin Ridyard gets us back underway here. Straight down the throat there of Jordan Lilley. Foggin Johnston just brought down there. Good tackle by Paul Nash. One of those 9 Swinton players on debut.
Great run by Elliot Wallace
is away. Elliot Wallace, he's got the fullback to beat. He's up to halfway. Great break there from Elliot Wallace, and that's carried Bradford inside the Swinton half. And now Jordan Lilley wants to run and takes a real head-on collision there. Fearless running out of dummy half from Jordan Lilley, and Bradford just have that ascendancy as Doyle looks for support, finds the runner there of Levy Nzongu. Nzongu head down towards the line, still going is Levy Nzongu, the former Hull FC man, and he's brought down 5 metres out, and Bradford have gone 90 metres in 4 tackles. Doyle to Lilley. Lilley takes the line on, brought down, good run there, and referee Jack Smith once again says that'll be the last. Doyle out of dummy half, can he get the ball down? I think he's put that one there, unfortunately, on Geronimo Doyle's leg, and the referee will say he's held up, the ball's not been grounded, and that power play run there from the Bulls, ever so close from Thomas Doyle, but Elliot Wallace, wow.
Yeah, great break to lay the platform. Oh, big hit in defence, and they're going to try to carry him back, but great defence from Bradford, great attacking play from Bradford before, really good yardage, set up the field, laying the platform for another scoot from Thomas Doyle to nearly force a try, and some more great defence from Bradford. 3 men taking the Swinton man back. That is fantastic defence. Thomas Doyle, Reece Hamlet and Adam Rooks forcing the Swinton man back 10 metres. You're seeing that real hunger in defence from Bradford again today. Thomas Doyle turning the ball over in a position like that has allowed them to pin Swinton in, and ultimately they're getting the ball back. That's as good as a goal line dropout.
I was just looking there, Luke. They were looking for those forwards. They were looking for the big men to get them out of the hole. Unfortunately, Bradford's hunger in defence, and now they have to be alert to the quick goal line dropout as D. Foggin Johnson does well. And
Bradford just caught cold there by the quick restart. Some players were too busy getting back to the mark, the backs to the ball. Luckily, Martin Ridyard's kick didn't trouble too much, and D. Foggin Johnson was able to bring that back. But a clever bit of play from Ridyard to try and get the ball straight back.
Lilley to Jowett. Joe Brown goes over on that left-hand side. Drops the shoulder, still going. Couple of metres out from that Swinton try line. Bradford perhaps looking for 2 early scores at the start of this second half. Swinton having to hold on here. Billy Jowett now, he will go on a bit of a mazy run, but that's a good tackle there from Jack Hansen. He went straight for Jowett's legs, and his run is halted, and he's finished off there by Geronimo Doyle, who comes in as the second man. Doyle out of dummy half to Lilley. Lilley now to Walker. Walker's brought down. Bradford on that 5th tackle once again. Doyle in at dummy half. Gives it to Nzongo. Nzongo goes running, charging towards the line. He's got 4 blue shirts on top of him, and his run is extended. And Bradford perhaps just a little bit lost there with that last tackle play, going for the power play, the traditional barge over, then rather than trying to create something off the boot of Lilley or Jowett. Yeah,
again, it's not a bad place to turn the ball over, Swinton having to come out from their own try line. We saw what happened in the last set, and Bradford will be, and it's same 2 players involved again, Thomas Doyle, Reece Hamlet with some great defence, and you can pin teams in and really gain the advantage in terms of field position from turning the ball over in those areas. So although you're not getting the ball immediately back, you gradually, you're getting that stronghold and you're winning the field position battle, which ultimately can reward in tries further down the field.
Well, everybody out there on the field trying to impress either John Kear or Stuart Littler, and here's a half break there from Sam Brooks. Brooks had the ankle tackle brought down there by Eben Skur. Once again, a quick play of the ball. Hansen happy to play the percentages there. Looks to find touch, but it will just bounce up kindly there for Joe Brown. Bradford leading by 18 points to 6. And certainly you can see from both Bradford and Swinton the competition for places. This is Swinton's final pre-season game before that game with Newcastle Thunder at Haywood Road in 2 weeks' time. Bradford obviously have the luxury of next week, but everyone out there really busting a gut, trying to impress either John Kear or Stuart Littler, as Foggin Johnston is up to halfway once again. Lilley marshalling the players out there on the field. Joe Brown will kick early in the count, and Geronimo Doyle will have to return this from inside his own 10 metre line, and that was good play there from Geronimo Doyle. Drew in Joe Brown, and that little flick on pass has now seen Swinton make a couple more metres forward, as Lewis Roberts, who had a loan spell at the Valencia Hurricanes last year, he's making his debut now this afternoon for the Swinton Lions. Ridyard gives it to Gregson, the former Wigan man. Had a loan spell at Swinton back in 2016 and 2017, and quite familiar with Stuart Littler and the Swinton Lions club. Waterworth back out there on the field in at dummy half. Once again, good defence there from Brad Gallagher, bringing down Lewis Hatton. Referee having to shield his eyes here. This is the 4th tackle. The 5th tackle coming up now as Swinton look to expose out on that left-hand side. Did that touch Reece Hamlet's left arm? It did. It's a fresh set of 6 here for Swinton, so they've got a repeat set now. And their first real pressure and first danger on the Bradford line we're going to see from the Swinton Lions, as Martin Ridyard now, the ball along the line as it goes to Lewis Brogan, and Brogan's going to be brought down right in front of the Bradford post, just outside that 20 metre line. Once again, good dummy half play there from Luke Waterworth to Brooks. Brooks, 20 metres out, just inching closer here. Brogan to Hatton. Simple, effective stuff here from the Swinton Lions. They're inching closer all the time. Is this the play where they give the ball some air? It certainly is, as it goes out to Doyle. Doyle will feed the ball to Mike Bolton. That's a great try there from the Swinton Lions, and they've narrowed the gap here at the Tetley Stadium. It's now 18 points to 10, and perhaps that simple, effective will just give it to the forward. Simple drive. That's paid dividends.
Yeah, they got up the field with that fresh set of 6 on halfway and got some really good field position, and again some really inventive play on that left edge. It's clearly something they've been working on, that left hand play, and it's paid dividends there with a really good try by Mike Butt.
Mike Butt, as we said, the former Manchester University student, really came of age in that 2018 season for Swinton. Second top try scorer for the Lions, and has been an ever-present there, and he'll be looking to impress Wales head coach John Kear. And when you talk about the Rugby League World Cup, well, they've both got it tough, Stuart Littler and John Kear. Group C for Ireland, they have New Zealand, Lebanon and Jamaica. For John Kear, he has Papua New Guinea, Tonga and the Cook Islands. I can't wait for October. I just cannot wait. October the 23rd. England and Samoa at St James's Park. Martin Ridyard to make it a 6-point game. Oh, he's hit the right-hand post. Oh, could be crucial in the scheme of things. How do Bradford regroup now, Luke, after that early deficit on their line?
Yeah, it's just, a bit of tiredness is bound to creep in, and sometimes that tiredness can affect your reading of plays, and some really more inventive Swinton play has forced another try there on that left edge. And we know Swinton aren't afraid to throw the ball about. It's whether you can react quick enough and keep your positions, and ultimately they've got in there Swinton, and they'll score a lot of points this year with the brand of rugby they play. So it's another well-worked Swinton try, and some fresh bodies now on for Bradford to help steady the ship.
I do feel sorry for the PA announcer. I think Bradford have just had 5 off, and 5 have come on. Dan Fleming and Steve Crossley, 2 of those players that have come back on the field there for the Bradford Bulls. As Swinton, well, that's a forward pass there. Referee will play the advantage, and Dan Fleming, this will be the 0 tackle. And look at Dan Fleming go, a lot of aggression there, and that's the 0 tackle. And Bradford now have a chance to potentially get their 4th try of the afternoon here as the sun starts to set behind this main stand where we're calling the game from at the Tetley Stadium. Walker to Fleming. 3 Swinton Lions defenders. They've been sucked out of that defensive line. Which way will Doyle go? Comes on the short side as it goes to Lilley now. Lilley to Rooks. Rooks is brought down 5 metres out. Bradford just starting to purr here. Lilley drops the shoulder. Tackle number 4 gone for the Bulls. 1 remaining. Right in front of the post. Jowett kicks early in the corner. Gallagher was chasing it, and I think the ball's just evaded everybody there. It's gone dead in goal, and that'll be a 7 tackle set for the Lions. Yeah,
it's really tight in goal areas, and that's sometimes why it's better just to turn the ball over on the Swinton line. You're not giving away a 7 tackle set on 20 metres to start, but you can't blame the idea. Sometimes the execution is just a bit off, and it was there. But Billy Jowett's certainly not afraid to make the plays despite his age and his rawness in terms of experience and his level. But he's certainly not afraid to make decisions like that. And Swinton have come up with another error. Bradford enjoying some time in the Swinton half. The perfect respite after that Swinton try.
Just see Sam Grant there, just losing the ball on that tackle there from Rhys Hamlet, the former Warrington Wolves man, and that will give Bradford another set of 6 inside that Swinton half. Luke Mawson.
Yeah, we're going to get a first look at Joe Burton in a Bradford shirt as well. Comes very highly regarded from his time at the Leeds Rhinos Academy, and he's certainly a young man with massive potential, so he should fit right in a Bradford shirt, and I'm sure Lee Beattie will look forward to working with him alongside Mark Dunning and John Kear this year to further harness that potential.
Here goes Steve Crossley. Drop off pass to Lilley, and Lilley's pass there to Rooks. That one's gone to ground. The line was open. If Rooks takes that, Swinton are chasing shadows. Lilley and Rooks are giving each other a bit of a pat on the back, and it will be a play the ball to Swinton just outside of the own 20 metre line. And it's interesting when you look at Joe Burton. He was released by the Leeds Rhinos Academy, and he still could be playing in the under-19s academy, but as you said, Luke, because of his application and what he's done so far in pre-season, John Kear's thought, hang on, we'll give this young lad a bit of a taste. It could turn into another Brad Gallagher, Eben Skir.
Yeah, he's clearly a man with a lot of talent, even at his young age, for John to want to take a closer look at him. And the club's taking advantage of where we mentioned before some players have fallen away from the game due to the change in the structures with the reserves, etc. So Bradford have taken advantage of that by getting a great player. Geronimo Doyle's in here. Yes. Geronimo Doyle's in for Swinton.
I was going to say Luke Mawson, Jack Hansen there. He just wriggled out of that 2-man tackle, and in support, Geronimo Doyle and Swinton have narrowed the gap further, 18 points to 14.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere, did that one. Bradford seems to be enjoying a bit of field position in Swinton half. Came up with the error. And then Jack Hansen with a good break, and finding Geronimo Doyle, who looks very quick on his feet, and he's gone over for a try on his debut.
Well, Geronimo Doyle, as we said, has New Zealand pedigree, and he's certainly looking very lively out there on the field, and John Kear might just be a little bit... might show a little bit of displeasure with the way that played out there, just looking at the drop-off on the tackle and a couple of plays just out of position. But this is what the pre-season's all about, building on those structures that the players work incredibly hard on during the pre-season training. And we're about to see a change here for Swinton, as Ben Hayes comes on the field for Geronimo Doyle. So straight after scoring that try, he gets a well-earned breather in the Swinton Lions dugout. Martin Ridyard, can he narrow the gap? This time he's found his radar, and we have a 2-point game here on the Hour League. Well, Batley and Dewsbury played out a 2-point thriller. There was just 2 points separating the two heavy woolen rivals at the Foxes Big Stadium earlier on, Luke. 22 points to 20, and well, we've still got 23 minutes to go, but we could be going the distance in the first game of 2021.
Yeah, we're certainly seeing a match that's making up for the time we've lost out with Mick. Two sides going at it hammer and tong. It's just great to see rugby league back, and you're seeing two sides who are really going at it today. Not holding off. There's no nerves out there. Just two sides absolutely going at it, and fair play to Swinton. They've come back into this game and made the scoreline more respectable, and it's probably a fair reflection of the game as a whole.
Swinton on that restart. Waterworth. 40-20 attempt here from Martin Ridyard, and this one is going to go in again, and it's another 40-20. It's the second one of the afternoon. Well, you could argue that was potentially a 20-20, and Swinton, look at this for impetus. They really want to waste no haste and get proceedings underway here. It's 18 points to 16, and we're just approaching the hour mark, and Swinton looking to take the lead here with what would be 3 quick-fire tries after the tries from Butt and Doyle. Bradford having to defend their own line here as Lewis Hatton is brought down right on top of the Bradford line here. Danger for the Bulls as Luke Waterworth fires it to Ridyard. Ridyard coming on this left hand, loves the short ball there towards Dean Meadows, and Dean Meadows crashes over the line, and Swinton take the lead here, and it's 20 points to 18.
Yeah, again, Swinton have gone back to back. Yeah. Again, really easily up the field, and we're starting to see a few tired bodies, I think, in that Bradford back line. Some smart play, nice short pass, and he fends off 2 Bradford defenders to go over for a try. So Swinton have turned the tables here, and Stuart Little will be delighted with how they've responded to going 18-6 down so quick after half time.
I was just looking at the notepad that I used to write down the try scorers and the scores, and Swinton, ever since John Kear brought 5 on 5 off, Swinton have scored three times now with Butt, Doyle and Meadows in quick succession.
Yeah, you're bound to see some adjustment to how the sides will match up, and players will be getting used to defending with so-and-so on the inside and the outside, and it's just that changing nature in defence and communication that sometimes can be affected when you make so many changes, but that's what these games are for, and that's absolutely no excuse, and you've still got to get the basics right in attack and defence, and Swinton have certainly made the most of the circumstance that's been presented to them.
Martin Ridyard, no mistake, 3 from 4 attempts this afternoon. We've hit the hour mark here at the Tetley Stadium in Dewsbury, and it is Swinton 22, the Bradford Bulls 18 here at the Tetley Stadium, and Bradford about to get the restart via the boot here of young Billy Jowett, who signed for the Bradford Bulls from the Wakefield Trinity Academy system, and well, he's certainly not looked back in the 18 months he's been at the club, but Bradford will look to stop this Swinton Lions ascendancy and momentum, because, as we said, they've scored 3 quick tries, 2 of them back-to-back, and Swinton now coming straight at the Bradford Bulls down the middle of the channel as we see Bradley Ho enter the arena. Dan Fleming in that loose forward role in this second half still for John Kear, as Luke Waterworth tries to pinch one out of dummy half before firing the ball into the arms there of Martin Ridyard. Waterworth again. Paddy Jones. Good tough run there from Paddy Jones. George Flanagan's back out there on the field as well. Last tackle, Ridyard. Game management from Martin Ridyard. I tell you what, Luke, Swinton all of a sudden they've switched on. They think there's 2 competition points at stake here.
Yeah, you see Martin Ridyard really take hold of this game. 2 kicks there, one just taking a bit of sting out of the game, getting a bit of air in the lungs, and the one before, the nice 40-20, his second of the game, laying the platform for that try. So you really see Martin Ridyard come to the fore, and he's been key for Swinton turning this match around.
Well, Bradford will try to rediscover some of the sharpness that they had at the start of the second half.
The one thing we've seen from this game, Mick, is how it's ebbed and flowed. Momentum's changed from Bradford to Swinton and Bradford, and we'll probably see that change again before the end of the game as both sides gain a foothold in this one as changes continue to be made. So it's been a good entertaining clash, and it's been a really entertaining one for, I guess, both coaches will take a lot out of it as well.
Bradford have their first penalty of the second half, and it's a 6-a-game penalty. Swinton just laying on in the tackle. Bradford leading the penalty count by 5 penalties to 4, so a relatively low penalty count by pre-season standards, and Steve Crossley looks to carry Bradford forward. Here goes Flanagan out of dummy half to Jowett. Jowett puts a bit of a fend on there, and Billy Jowett, well, he's got the legs, and he keeps the ball going now, and Brad England fancies a run on that left-hand channel, and England's brought down 15 metres out. Quick play the ball. It's all the Billy Jowett at the minute. He's the creative spark for the Bradford Bulls, and they're knocking on that Swinton Lions door once again. They're down by 4 points with 18 minutes to go. George Flanagan tries to pitch one from dummy half. Flanagan's got it down. George Flanagan, welcome back Rugby League. And we're locked up. It's 22 points apiece. It's a thriller to start the pre-season 2021.
What's the phrase? But you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, you don't need to, and they work as often as they do for George Flanagan. We saw it early in the first half. He got held up. He certainly burrowed his way over that line there. Some fantastic tenacity, and it's just what Bradford needed. Some older heads coming back onto the pitch just to arrest that momentum, and the scoreboard is level with kick to come.
Well, George Flanagan, he has done that time and time again throughout his career, unlocking the defences. Mirroring pretty much two of his idols. When you speak to George Flanagan about, before he come through at the Bradford Bulls Academy back in 2005, 2006, he always said that Kieran Cunningham, James Laws, they were two of his players that he modelled himself on, and as we said, George Flanagan. Swinton might be just a little bit disappointed with that, but Billy Jowett, a favourable kicking position here, this to give Bradford the lead again, and I'll tell you what, I hope everybody who's enjoying the Our League coverage this afternoon is certainly thinking they've had value for money. Certainly going end to end this game. Billy Jowett adds an extra 2, or no, he doesn't. He's actually missed it. It's gone above that right-hand post, and we remain at 22 points apiece.
Yeah, it's all set up to be a fantastic last 15 minutes in this one. As we said, the momentum will change before the end. It changed a bit sooner than I thought, but Brad Callan's just come on as well for his first appearance and run out in a Bradford shirt, and I do have to mention he's definitely not the son of Matt Calland. It's certainly a mistake that was made from the club this week, or from by myself, so I'd just like to clarify that one. So sorry Matt and sorry Mike, Brad's dad, but a great moment for him in a Bradford shirt as he looks to impress.
I was just going to say, Luke, it's quite interesting because Matt Calland was messaging me saying he's not my son, so look, these things happen, so Brad Calland, of course, on a trial from the Widnes Vikings. 22 points apiece.
Got Ethan O'Hanlon on the pitch as well for Dan Fleming. Ethan, someone who's represented Yorkshire at Origin level, and he's another player coming through the system at Bradford, and he'll certainly look to make the most of his opportunity here.
George Flanagan, as Adam Rooks quickly plays the ball. Bradford just moving forward here now. There could be some space over on that left-hand edge. Former Bradford Bulls player Kobe Green, who joined Swinton in the off-season, is out there on the field for the final 15 minutes. George Flanagan kicks out a dummy half. That one is shielded well there by Mike Butt, and Mike Butt immediately brought down there in a two-man tackle. Once again, Rhys Hamlet certainly proving his worth. Also Adam Rooks looking very energised and energetic, and Bradford now will be looking to restrict Swinton's momentum here, as Swinton have to play the ball and attack from deep, and that was young Ben Hayes who took tackle number 2 as Forsyth plays the ball. Waterworth, Green, this time it goes to Dean Meadows, who gives Swinton the lead 5 minutes ago before the 4th try for Bradford through George Flanagan. Swinton once again keeping that ball alive and well, and Lewis Roberts will be brought down on the last tackle. 14 minutes left here. Martin Ridyard goes to the sky. There's a bit of spiral on that one. Bradford are going to let it bounce, and they're going to have to try and get the ball out of their own in-goal area. And Swinton...
Great kick chase from Swinton.
Great kick chase, as Luke says. And Martin Ridyard has earned Swinton their third goal line dropout of the afternoon. As we just see the replay there, just allowing the ball bounce. A bit of hesitancy there.
Yeah, a tricky kick, and again, that's why Martin Ridyard, excels in this game. His kicking game, his game management, and he put young Joe Burton under all sorts of pressure then. And some good kick chase to back up the quality of the kick, and they forced another set.
I wonder if we'll see a drop goal. Surely not, it's the pre-season. Ball's come loose, what a
great
tackle
defence,
that
Brad England again.
Yeah, Brad England and Bradley Ho. And look what it means to Jordan Lilley and George Flanagan. He's jumping all over. And we're just going to see this. This is not even tackle one on the restart. The ball comes out. It was the ferocity of the tackle. And Bradford now will have a very relieving play the ball in centre field.
One thing you say in rugby league, especially if you make an error, back it up. And although it wasn't so much of an error from Bradford's part, in conceding the goal line dropout, they certainly backed it up. And this game just keeps warming up with another big hit there from, I believe that was Nick Gregson in the Swinton Lions defence. So this game's certainly warming up, and both sides feel like they can gain the upper hand heading into the last 10 minutes.
Port Ethan O'Hanlon, Nick Gregson and Paddy Jones in that two-man tackle. Flanagan to Crossley. Steve Crossley, his third spell at the club, remember, certainly enjoying life back at the Bradford Bulls. Flanagan now to Jowett. It goes to Burton. He's brought down. Fourth tackle gone here, one remaining for the Bradford Bulls. Will they go on that short side? Yes, they will with England. England's wrapped up. This is the last tackle now. Is it too early to start talking about drop goals? Billy Jowett, crossfield kick. A la Aussie rules, looking for young Murphy Smith. The ball's live. The referee will say first knock on from young Murphy Smith. And Swinton will recover possession 10 metres out from their own try line. Just looking at the replay there. Oh, that was close.
Yeah, Murphy Smith leaping like a gazelle down in this near right corner. Unfortunately, just couldn't keep hold of the ball under pressure from the Swinton winger. So another good kick from Billy Jowett. A good chance for Bradford to establish some field position in this game. Keep Swinton in some more scrambling defence. Keep Swinton within their own 10-metre line, and Bradford will look to keep them in this position and certainly play the next few minutes in Swinton's half.
Well, you've got a bit of an interesting job and task in the next 5 minutes, Luke, because you're choosing the Our League man of the match, and there's been a lot of contenders. Of Swinton now with a break. Oh, what a great
good
tackle there from Murphy Smith. Murphy Smith stopping Nick Gregson, who potentially was looking towards Butt and Grant over on this right-hand edge. As it is, Swinton have moved the ball over on that far-stand side, and once again they're on the last tackle. Good defensive pressure from John Kear's side. Ridyard on the last tackle on the power play. He will take aim. Young Murphy Smith under it, lets it bounce behind him. It's gone backwards, and here comes the blue-shirted defenders looking to entrap Murphy Smith, and he's a brave lad, Murphy Smith, taking a full-on tackle from Nick Gregson, who's back in rugby league after a spell with the other code. And Bradford now will have to work from deep, but perhaps this is the opportunity that John Kear wants, as Elliot Wallace back out there. He's made 10 metres, a good carry there, and a good scampering run there from Elliot Wallace. Bradford with Adam Rooks now just inside the Swinton half. One tackle remaining in this set of 6. Final 10 minutes, it's 22 points apiece here at the Tetley Stadium in Dewsbury. A real enterprising pre-season friendly, a real workman-like performance from both sides, and everyone blowing off the cobwebs as Burton puts a little kick in behind the line, looking for Sam Smith, but Mike Butt does well, just tracking back, and Swinton now just looking to see what they can do, because as you say, Steve Crossley, he was straight out of that Bulls defensive line, keeping hold of him. Grant's in there at dummy half. Oh, a big hit there from young Adam Rooks, and tell you what, people might be needing an ice bath after this one. What could Swinton do there? Deep inside their own half here. One tackle remaining on this set of 6 as it comes over to Ridyard. Ridyard back to Hayes. Hayes wrapped up there, and that'll be the fifth and last tackle. Swinton just restricted there to 30 metres on that set of 6. Back it goes to Ridyard. He will plot their escape route, and that one is just going to go straight down this left-hand corner here, and young Joe Burton will race back, and he does well, does Burton. He's step 1, he's step 2, he's still going, he's Burton. He gives it to Billy Jowett. Billy Jowett's still not tackled, says the referee. He's still going, he's Billy Jowett, and Jowett now. Mike Butt comes in and cleans him up. Quick play the ball needed, because Swinton's defence is at 6s and 7s, and Flanagan can smell blood, and he's now brought down, and Bradford have tackles in the bag here. They'll be looking to just calm things down a little bit and show a bit of composure as George Flanagan interchanges with Cameron Berry. So Cameron Berry comes on the field for the final 8 minutes or so here. Bradford and Swinton, 22 points apiece. Here goes Ant Walker towards the line. He was trying to reach out, he couldn't just get there. Berry now keeps it going to England. England's on the line. Last tackle. Bradford right in front of the posts. 7 minutes to go. They're going to go for the drop goal from Joe Burton, but he's put it wide. Jack Smith says it's gone wide.
Brad Callan, that one.
Sorry, apologies. Brad Callan's gone wide.
Some good pressure from the Swinton defence, and he just pushed that kick wide, but you've got to admire the idea. Just the execution, unfortunately, wasn't there on that occasion.
Oh, that'll go down as a missed opportunity. There was no defensive pressure. Swinton stood like statues. Is that the moment? Because Swinton will get a 7 tackle set here. Bradford 22, Swinton 22. Well, the last time they met at Odsal, it was a draw, 34 points apiece. It was one of those games from the Championship that will always live long in the memory. I think it was a game that had everything. Bradford crucially caught offside, 5 penalties apiece now, and this crucially could give Swinton the impetus, because they have a full set of 6. 20 metres out.
20 metres out as well, so there's nothing to say. Swinton and Martin Ridyard won't try to do the same themselves. I think Martin Ridyard might have come off, but certainly Jack Hansen's got it in him to steer this one home for Swinton. So a really important set here for Bradford to defend, and it just shows how quickly games can turn from, it looked like Bradford taking the lead with a 1-pointer to Swinton going up the other end themselves.
Brooks is brought down right on top of that Bradford Bulls try line. 6 minutes remain here. 22 points apiece. It's going to go to Hansen. Hansen's pass out wide. They're in at the corner. It's Rodri Lloyd, the skipper for the Lions. And they retake the lead with time running out here, because Swinton lead by 26 points to 22.
Yeah, really good looping pass out wide, and Bradford's missed drop goal attempts being punished there with another good play from Swinton. Jack Hansen spotting that gap, firing that pass out, cutting out 2 Bradford men, and they created a really good overload on that left edge, and another good try from Swinton's perspective. Well,
we've just seen Rodri Lloyd there cross out wide, and could that be the difference? Could that be the difference between these two sides? From what we've seen, you wouldn't bet against it, because Bradford will certainly still have a couple of sets of 6. But how do you gauge the second half performance, Luke, from Swinton and Bradford?
I think Swinton have had the better of the half. They've put on a lot more points on the board, and they've certainly kept the errors down to a minimum. Or the first half they were guilty of overplaying at times, but they've certainly simplified it this second half. And Martin Ridyard and Jack Hansen have helped with that experienced half-back partnership, just steering them through in this game. And both sides have made lots of changes. There's a lot of younger players who are coming in, getting used to the intensity of rugby league as well. So it's certainly... another Swinton kick hitting the post. Will that prove vital come the final whistle? But a lot of young faces now on for Bradford, and it's a good opportunity for them to show some character and mettle as we're heading the final 5 minutes.
Well, Martin Ridyard hit the right hand upright, and we've just seen Jack Hansen hit the left hand upright. So just 4 points separate these two sides with 4 minutes remaining, and the youngest ever player to be capped for Wales, Rodri Lloyd. He was the person who scored that try to put Swinton in front.
Great
Murphy Smith's got the ball back from the restart, and here goes Murphy Smith. But the referee will say Murphy Smith, he just couldn't maintain possession. And that will be a chance that has gone begging. But talk about ingenuity. Billy Jowett's restart. Murphy Smith, he just got there ahead of Grant. and Swinton now, with 4 minutes remaining, they will look to play down time. And you, Mr. Luke Mawson, you have the opportunity now to announce who the Our League man of the match is and why.
There's only 51 contenders for this accolade, Mick, so it's a tricky one this week. You know, you've seen a really impressive showing from Ant Walker today. He's looked really good in the sort of 30 minutes he's had. Dan Fleming's been another one in a Bradford shirt. But I think for me, ultimately Martin Ridyard just edged it for his game management. The way he's steered Swinton, especially in his second half with his kicking game, I think he's just had the edge in terms of being player of the match in my book.
Martin Ridyard taking a well-earned breather on the sideline. 3 minutes left here, but Martin Ridyard named the Our League man of the match, and Swinton really should reap the rewards of Martin Ridyard in his time at Swinton Lions. As Swinton come running forward again. Tyler Brown
Great
there.
strip there by Billy Jowett.
Although Billy Jowett's stolen the ball one on run, the referee looked to the touch judges, said it's A-OK. So are we going to have some late drama here in this game? Bradford down by 4. Martin Ridyard, the man of the match. We just see Ant Walker leave the field for the final time here. And Bradford, they are just a metre inside that Swinton half as it goes to young Murphy Smith. Young Murphy Smith, this drives diagonally and then down the middle. The 45 metres out from that Swinton line. Eben Skur drives Bradford forward up to the 30 metre line. 28 metres out now. It's going right down to the final act once again as it goes from Bury to England. England's brought down. This is the last tackle for the Bulls, perhaps their last chance in this game. Jowett, crossfield kick. He's got Sam Smith and Murphy Smith chasing. Great take there under pressure from Ben Hayes, and Ben Hayes might just have seen Swinton take the spoils here in this rather delightful and rather fun pre-season fixture, because there's less than 2 minutes on the clock. Bradford might just have one last chance, Luke.
Yeah, the Bradford will look to get a quick set in defence underway here. The 3 tackles gone and Swinton are only 10 metres out, so there might be one or two tackles in the tank for Bradford to make a difference at the end of this game.
90 seconds left on the clock here. Play the ball from Liam Forsyth. This will be some result for the Swinton Lions. As we said, they had their best ever season in 20 years back in 2019, and Stuart Littler clearly putting the building blocks in place for something special for the Lions. And Bradford now have to go 70 metres in 70 seconds. Can it be done? Elliot Wallace carries Bradford just shy of their own 40 metre line. 4 tackles remaining for the Bulls. 55 seconds left in this one. Murphy Smith carries Bradford down the middle. They're looking like they're going to come over on this main stand side. Is this going to be a play as it goes to Jowett? Jowett to Skur. Skur now carries Bradford in that Swinton half up to the 40 metre line. 2 tackles remaining here for the Bulls. There's 30 seconds left on the clock. Berry's out a dummy half. Berry goes probing. Berry goes down the middle. And this will be it now for the Bradford Bulls. The game is on the line. There's 25 seconds remaining. It goes to Billy Jowett. Billy Jowett, a high hanging kick. Bradford chasing. But he's done exceptionally well there in the in-goal area on debut. Geronimo Doyle takes it on the full. It'll be a 7 tackle set here for the Swinton Lions, and with 10 seconds remaining, barring a miracle, it will be a famous pre-season result for the Swinton Lions. And Stuart Littler as the hooter sounds. Liam Forsyth will take the tackle. Welcome back, Rugby League. A standing ovation for the small scattering of directors in the main stand here.